With so much drama in the hobby, it's kind of hard being T-I-M-T, but I somehow, some way keep coming up with dollar box hits like every single day. No Bangers, episode 62. I am joined by my co-host, the illustrious Mr. Rod from Picking and Punching Cards, Cary from American Arbitrage Cards, and I am Tim from Over the Year
I
Sports.
love it, dude. Love it. Let's go.
Interesting weekend, man.
Yeah,
Very
anything
interesting
happening?
weekend.
Very interesting weekend. I actually went traveling to Georgia. I went picking and I hit up some card shops along the way. So I like to talk about that.
Did you go to Cards HQ?
I didn't make it that far up there. And then, Cary, you went to a card show this weekend as well?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You went to one local to you, not the one in Tampa.
Yeah, I went to Duval.
Okay. And then
I went to two shows.
You went to two shows. Okay, interesting. So I will tell you,
before you tell me anything,
yeah.
This is sponsored by www.dibditcards.com, America's favorite place to buy and sell trading cards, allegedly, and lawsuit free. Also,
Yes.
This is a public service announcement that there is a possibility at any point in time over the course of the next hour and a half that I completely lose power because we are currently under a tornado watch.
Oh, okay. Well, it's funny you brought that up because when I got to Georgia,
Yeah, if you see his hat starting to leave his head, it's because the air pressure.
Bro, literally I literally woke up in Georgia and went down to get my breakfast, like the hotel we usually get breakfast.
Yeah.
And literally we had a tornado warning through Georgia and hit Warner Robins, this big area where we're going picking. So it's funny that you brought that up. Yeah, it was not fun. So
dude, there's a whole thing going on right now with people who are, if you guys aren't already following my Facebook page about food, it's called Married with an Appetite. Please,
Jesus. Here we go.
Remember. Also, apparently, people
Food
/
intimacy page.
People have started sneaking into hotels, pretending they're a guest, getting free breakfast, and then putting it out on the internet.
Yeah, their names are Tim.
Yeah, that's I've thought about that before. How easy would that be?
Oh, dude, it's very easy. But this is the problem with today's world of criminals versus, back in my day, when we were wearing suits and running around with Tommy guns,
Just, listening to Cherry Pop and Daddies.
Why do people have to put everything that they do illegally on the internet? I don't understand.
It doesn't make any sense. Yes. It's very, very dumb to do that.
Okay, before, I know I'm throwing you off sidetracks, but I'm remembering things now.
Toot, Ryan.
So, you heard this crazy thing about how, Pokemon cards have become, the new form of money laundering. So the major Japanese criminal underworld, like the Yakuza and stuff like that, they're instead of they're using Pokemon cards for their money laundering. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, can you imagine the amount of Charizards PSA 10s that Pablo Escobar would have had if he would have known about that?
So it's funny you said that because what's the best way to put this? In the sports card world, there's also people that do that, and I can't confirm or deny that, but
1989 Ken Griffey Jr. is a different story, though.
Allegedly, people have been doing that in the card world, and that's when they go to the shows, and you guys think it's always the repack or stuff like that, but some of those people that are spending the cash there are using other ways to funnel money. So that's what I've been told. I don't know how true that is, but I wouldn't put it past it. Why not? I mean, it's
it's a lot easier than hiding $50 million in your walls.
Yeah.
You just have a Pokemon collection hanging
I used to work in the bar and nightclub industry, and then that's another industry where a lot of people would funnel money through strip clubs as well because it's a cash business. So anything that's a cash business,
that's all obvious stuff: car washes, laundromats. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, a card show would be the perfect setup because you're dealing with very high end stuff.
Well, not me, but
obviously not you. But so
I bought a $10 card this weekend. And it was
nice. Well, good.
I'm trying to think my biggest card. I might have done $10 on one. I might have.
My biggest card was 125. No, maybe not. I pay more. I don't know. I have to go back and look. But
yeah, but you did buy a case of Burger King Kids Club cards, correct?
I did not buy a case. I didn't buy any cases this weekend. Speak about that. I'm still trying to buy this damn box of cards off Fanatics website. It won't allow me.
People are all pissed off about the Bowman's Best release. Baseball.
What about it? What's
Like,
happening?
nobody could get it. The people were like,
I
you
did hear
have
about
4
that.
in your cart, and then when you get to your cart, you only have 2.
No,
Sorry, you
but
only have
the
2.
boxes are
And
for
then when
the
you check
breakers,
out-
allegedly. They're not
And then
for
when
us,
you check
right?
out, there's no
Allegedly.
boxes
Allegedly.
available.
So that's what was happening to me today. I'm trying to do the pre-order for WWE hobby boxes. I try to get a case, stuff of that. And then what would happen is I would put it in my cart. I would go to checkout, and then it would put me through and get it at the very end, and then go to cash out, and it said not available. So I go back to the homepage, and now it is available. So I click on it again. I go back in. I do the same process all over again, and then it blocked my account, saying that you tried to check out too many times. Well, I wouldn't have tried to check out so many damn times if your site was accurate.
It sucks too because like you were excited for this one. This wasn't
Yes.
like Topps Heritage Teletubbies or whatever you were buying last week.
Yes,
This was like one you actually really was excited for.
This is the biggest WWE drop of the year, pretty much, and I was super excited for it. And I missed out last year because it was the first release. When they just got the new licensing and stuff like that. Now I'm just pissed. I'm really just disappointed and pissed off right now, to be completely honest with
Just
you.
get some player breaks. Get in on a Earthquake or whoever you can get on a break.
Earthquake. So, Cary, you're a big history buff, aren't you?
Yeah, I like history. That's what I studied in college.
So I had a 4.5 hour drive to Georgia and went back, and it got me thinking. I sat there thinking, and it got me thinking about. Do you know who the biggest trader in the U.S. history is?
Benedict Arnold, right?
You would think that, but it's not. It's actually this guy right here, Benedict Tim. Benedict Tim.
Oh my gosh!
So I had to put this out there because
he's got drip though, dude. Look at him though.
Look at this. The biggest
so
trader
happy
in American history. Let me tell you, and I'll tell you why. Tim put out a question last week for everyone to vote who they thought who their favorites were 1 through 3.
You weren't number one on any of the lists, Rod.
I was number one on a bunch of lists. You weren't actually. I don't think you were number one in any, but you were.
No, Cary was number 1 on a bunch.
Oh, was he? Okay. Well, I will
who
tell you
is that
this.
supposed to be? Is that am I Napoleon?
Yeah, the only thing he's missing is the all the medals.
Now, if the audience would have known this ahead of time, they probably would not have voted for you at all. And I have to show evidence. Number 2
the
here.
True
right?
Tim. Okay.
The true Tim right here. Tim is rooting for the Dominican Republic over USA baseball. Who are you? What the hell? And don't give me
My
that
son
BS.
is basically Austin Wells, man. Like I mean, what am I supposed to do here?
My stepson is Puerto Rican. My wife is born in Puerto Rico. But you see me rooting for Puerto Rico? If they play
Puerto
US
Rico,
ball,
for the record, is in the United States, Rod. Just so
I know that. I do know that. But I'm just saying is Puerto Rico had their own team as well. But Tim, come on, bro.
I mean, listen, I felt like I was more spiritually connected with the Dominican Republic team last night than I was
root for
the
who you
American
want to,
team.
man.
Traitor. Absolute
When I go to
traitor.
the World Cup, dude, it's USA and Mexico are my teams because I lived in Mexico. So like I root for both teams.
That's
If
fine.
they play each other, I'd probably go USA though.
Because you're an American. I got it. All right. Just want to classify that there, Tim. All right. Just bring it to the audience attention right there.
It's okay. That's okay.
That's okay.
It was a horribly umpired game last night. I spent hours arguing with baseball purists over the last
Oh, you weren't on
24 hours.
Brian Gray's Twitter thread or whatever? I was lost in that one last night for like 30 minutes.
The
When she
one
told
about
me he was
breaking news.
Yeah, the breaking news, and everybody was like, it was I don't do Twitter much, but that was a fun read. We'll put it that way.
If you're in the hobby, it's almost like you have to be in hobby Twitter. Like I'm so glad Ivan brought me into the world of hobby Twitter because it's really fascinating and it's a different perspective. And I think that's interesting about all the social media platforms. And I think you guys, as much larger content creators than myself, you'll understand that each sort of niche or community is a little bit different on every social media platform.
Yeah,
so I think
is.
it's interesting to kind of get the perspective of hobby Twitter is completely different than anything else in
It's
the world of the hobby.
It's funny is because like all of us have, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And we're on Spotify. I mean, and every different platform. Like when you put out sports card content, one platform it hits well, and other platforms it doesn't. It just varies. And I will tell you, like I've started going to Twitter more and more now because of you or X. Because of that now.
You can just call it Twitter. Nobody calls it.
Yeah, I know. It's so. Oh God, I hate when people say X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm like, bro, they changed the name like 2 years ago. Like,
Just
come
the
on,
symbol.
bro.
It's just the symbol X.
I know.
Yeah,
But
shout out Prince.
Yeah, dude. Shout out Prince. I love Prince.
Rain.
Purple rain.
I think it'd be
Raspberry Beret
interesting
is another
Rain.
good one too.
for the audience here. Which platform do you guys get all your social media information in regards to cards? Is it
Pinterest.
YouTube?
Twitter.
Is anybody doing
Twitter.
Pinterest?
No,
I
but
wanna
I'm asking
know-
the audience. Like, I want to.
I know. I'm asking where are the Pinterest homies at? Where are you guys? Who's just looking at pictures on Pinterest and not commenting?
So, Tim, I want to talk about the World Baseball Classic here, and I'm trying to understand how do they pick the players for certain teams? Because like you had Jack played for freaking Italy. You know what I mean? Like he was born in the U.S. I know he's from Italian heritage, but like, how do they determine which player plays for which team and stuff like that? Do you know?
There depends. You have to have a connection. So Austin Wells' mom is Dominican.
Okay.
She was born in the DR.
All right.
So Jack Caglione probably has some sort of Italian lineage.
He does have Italian lineage, but I mean, like, he wasn't.
Does it have to be like a parent or a grandparent?
Yeah,
Is there
like
certain rules in place. I don't know.
I don't know the answers to that question.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not like I could go play for South Korea.
I mean, you do like Korean food with that. I saw it on your page, your food page. What was the food page called again?
I
Married
think
with
it's
an
just
appetite.
like sexy
Marriage with
eating or
Appetite, yes.
something. Okay, that
Yes.
one.
That went on there. But all right, so Tim, tell me, you went to 2 card shows. Tell me what happened, man. How'd it go?
Well, both card shows were dominated. Well, let me rephrase that. The first card show was probably, it was a lot of Pokemon, but not heavy. Not like to the point where it was like the second one. But it was tough sledding for me for day one at that first card show. Great card show and thrown by people that I love in the hobby, Landers Rips. But like, it was just not a lot of quality low end stuff and not a lot of baseball. And as you guys know, I'm currently like on a relearning how to buy football cards again. So,
Wait. What do you mean you're relearning how to buy football cards?
Like I don't want to buy football cards the same way I was buying football cards before. That's why I sold all my football cards and I'm starting fresh.
Okay, can you tell us how you bought your football cards previously? I'm very intrigued to see what you're going to be doing.
Well, I
differently.
mean, I would just buy because I'm obviously a football aficionado, right?
Okay.
But football doesn't translate from the stat box to the hobby as well as some of the other sports.
Okay, I'll give you that.
So like I would buy cards and like to be like a number to 49 DeAndre Hopkins, right? Like I feel like that should be a $10 card, right? And just if I just threw that out to you, like you would feel I feel like that'd be a $10 card. It's like a $2 card. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just because like it like even when baseball, like there's certain cards of guys who play like it and it's numbered, like you're gonna get money for it, right?
Yeah.
In football, it's not like that.
It's so bizarre too. It's not like that, to be honest with you. It's
So
really
for me, it's just kind of like I'm trying to find a different approach to buying football cards because I had so much backstock of football cards that I thought were good cards that just nobody wanted. And like even in like live streams, like they just weren't going well. So like I didn't buy any football at that show, which was in a mall, by the way. And so and then I left. This is another thing. I always wear a hoodie to card shows, right? And I keep my phone in my front pocket of my hoodie. At this card show, I wore a crew neck, right?
What are you thinking?
So I know. So at the first table that I was at, you guys know this because this happened to me like 10 times at
You just leave your phone there, right? You just walk off.
I left my phone at the first table. And so like I was like halfway down the row of the next room and I was like, oh shit, my phone. So you lost out on the case again. So I ran back.
Making boxes right now. This is BS.
I ran back to the first table and got my phone. And by the time I got back to the row where I was at, my good friend, who's also a box digger, Jake, was digging through a box, and I see the stack next to the box. I'm like looking at it, and I'm just like, those are yours? He's like, yeah, man. I was like, damn. So like I went into the box after him. I got one card out of the box. So like that was like the money shot, and I missed it. So, but big shout out to Jake because he gave me a
Cuff Junior. Yeah, there you go. Is that a numbered
orange
one?
ice.
Or just orange ice? Okay.
Yeah. So, and he was like, dude, like, I was like, are you sure? He's like, I would have never have known if it wasn't for your video about this. And so like, you know, I made a bunch of money and he just gave me the card and was like, this was like a token of appreciation for the information. So
That's
like
awesome,
that was really awesome. I mean, that's like a $30 card, $35 card right now. So that was pretty cool. And then it was just kind of like I found a guy that does like hockey cards, but he always has like a box of like patches, autos, and of other sports, and it's like 3 for $5. And in there, I found Cody Ponce autograph and a Darius.
nice.
Oh yeah, here it is. And that's the image variation, super short print. So that's like a $30 card. And then the I love these, by the way. The workhorses out of Bowman's Best.
Yeah, they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
So I picked up the Darius Taylor auto too out of that. So that was, and then at that point I was really struggling. I had probably only bought like maybe like 20 or 30 cards, and I was reaching a little bit, but like I've gotten to the point where it's like I don't want to reach at card shows anymore. You know what I'm saying? Even though like it's super important for me because I rely on the card show for my lives for that week. You know what I'm saying? So like if I don't buy like a couple hundred cards, then like it makes my week a little bit more difficult. I gotta go to the card shop or, you know. So as I'm leaving, I have to use a bathroom. This just goes to show you that every little thing that happens with a card show, a la not wearing a hoodie, a la I had to take a piss before I left to go back home. I was walking through the mall and there's a guy who had a kiosk selling cards at a kiosk in the mall.
Huh.
And he had 50-cent boxes.
Oh, nice.
And I ended up buying like...
Was this completely separate from the card show?
Completely separate from the card show.
So
like on another level of the mall, like in the back cut, like on my way to the bathroom.
So that's like a regular spot that you can go to now.
Regular spot.
Okay.
And so, but what's interesting is that guy actually sets up at the Glen Burnie Slade show once a month. So like I knew the guy and I was like, we don't have these boxes at the show. This is like completely different than what he takes to the card show. Man, I found some Connor Griffins. I found some McConaughey's. I found some short prints. I mean, all types of stuff. So I ended up buying like 60 cards from him. So it kind of made it okay. Day 2, Sunday, was heavy Pokemon cards. And it was thrown by the card promoter show company that's like been in the news lately because they had that beef because somebody else in North Carolina 2 hours away threw a show the same day as they did. And like the two show promoters had a beef. And apparently the guy who runs this Tidewater show promotion or whatever, allegedly, has like a long history of doing a lot of shady stuff, which I did not know about. I mean, I don't know the guy. I've never met him. I just know that he throws shows in like Virginia, North Carolina area. But like apparently he's done a lot of shady stuff to vendors and female people too. So
I saw that post. I think.
Yeah,
so I did see a post on that too.
Yeah.
So anyways, so it was heavy Pokemon. I walked in. This is the other thing too. I realized if there's a show and they're not charging money at the door, and they don't have somebody at the door, just go an hour early. Just go an hour early. I showed up. The show started at 9:00. I got there at 8:14, and I walked right into the Elks Lounge.
What time did you show up to your mall show?
I showed up to the mall show at like 45 minutes, 30, 45 minutes early.
Or what time did the show start?
9:00.
You should have got there like 7.
Yeah, well, now I'm realizing that it's like now it's just an hour early before the show starts.
No, even you can get in there even earlier because in the malls they open up the malls.
Yeah, I know that. They open up and
stuff like
So so Kevin could come up.
You guys are living in a fantasy world. Go get there at 7 a.m. when you guys.
Cary, just remember when are we allowed to announce this yet? No,
no,
wait.
no,
Okay.
not yet, not
Okay.
yet.
Well, Cary, just make sure.
Is it
you
gonna?
send
Is
her-
it an announcement that is going to shake the hobby world?
It is 1000%. It's ground
It's
shaking.
it's what's going to shake
like
all
how I
the
did
bargain
there?
boxes. It's going to
Ground shaking instead of ground breaking.
yeah, it's
Oh,
going to
there
shake
we
the
go.
bargain boxes around.
Dad joke. So anyway, so that show was pretty good, and actually I had a really cool interaction with. I saw somebody who was like, "Dude, I saw your TikTok video in a McDonald's drive-thru on the way here," and I was like, "That's awesome." But I had a really good interaction with a young couple. They had their baby there, like maybe very newborn baby, and they were vending. And I'm very talkative at the table, right? You guys know that. Like you can hear me from across the room most card shows. And so like after the show, I got a message from the guy, and he was like, an hour after you left my table, your content came across my feed. And he was like, I just want to let you know, like, it was great meeting you. And it was my girlfriend's first time vending with me. And I just want to let you know that you made it a memorable experience for her. And like, it was like a great interaction. Because I told him, I was like, this was good vibes at their booth. We talked, had a good conversation about, because he had a lot of in-person autographs. I was like, where'd you get all these? He was like, I used to go to the Orioles games all the time when I was a kid. And I was like, man, me too. So like, it just goes to show you how far along communication at the tables will take you. But I found some sick cards at that show.
Well,
I'm not going to lie.
can I tell you what actually really happened? Tim left. And then his video popped up with him fighting with the dealer in Philly about finding $1,000 card in the dollar box. The guy's like, "Oh man, I can't have him bury me on here. Let me send him a message right now."
I'm still getting comments on that video, by the way, every day. But this was probably the biggest card I found this weekend.
So did anyone talk to you at the show about
Was that
that?
the black refractor? What's that number to?
Out of 100.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
Salvador Perez. What do you think that card last sold for?
He's a legend too for the Royals. I would guess.
Is that
$100
what, 100?
I don't know. That's probably too much.
Yeah, no, $50.
I was gonna say 27.
And then I found a Gypsy Queen mini wood of Gio Gonzalez, 5 of 5, which is a pretty dope one. Dikembe Mutombo, 98.99 refractor tops chrome.
Nice.
Now,
nice.
what's crazy about that card is raw. It's like a $10 to $15 card. That card sold in a PSA 9 for like $180. Like stuff like that makes me as a bargain boxer think about wanting to grade. And then I realize because
there's
that
no
card's value is not
rush to
gonna
get back
change.
there's no rush to get the card back either.
Exactly.
It's
So,
okay
like-
that it takes 47 months or whatever the time is at this
That's-
point, allegedly.
That's a good point because that's why I'm okay grading like sending like Jordans or like Legends in because there's really no rush for stuff like that. It's just the modern rookies that you really need to focus about or the stuff that's come out that's super hot.
Yeah, so the two shows were pretty good. I mean, I was a little lower volume than what I do in a typical one day of a card show, but it was and a little bit more money than what I've been spending. I've been on a tear lately. The 67-cent average card cost like 300 cards. Like, like you can't expect that every weekend. But I did end up getting like 100 cards and like a little bit more than 100 cards and like $1.06 cost per card average, which isn't bad considering you got the studio Ken Griffey Jr. Did you guys know that card's doing well too?
Yeah, it's the bubblegum.
No, the bubblegum
that's the
is
Pinnacle.
the Pinnacle.
Yes, yeah, it's also the studio has the bubblegum too.
Yeah, but the Pinnacle bubblegum is the one that's doing like $50 to $100.
Yeah, the reason is I think it's just a trickle down effect. Like
it is a trickle down effect.
Yeah.
So I found one of those raw dog in the top loader, looking like as yellow as those infomercial sunglasses for old folks. Like
Yeah, sometimes those old dealer boxes where they're all yellowed, they've been they've just been around so much smoke over the years, so much.
But lots
you
of
can find some gems
Pokemon
in there.
Lots of Pokemon, lots of high end stuff.
Just so people know what we're talking about. Here's a little tip. We'll show you guys a picture of this because
Are you going to show them the infomercial of the old people's glasses? You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
right
that's
here.
right there.
So there's that one right there, the studio one.
That's the one I
also-
picked up.
That's the one becoming more popular now. That one wasn't as popular as the other one. I'll pull the other one up here in a second once I find it. But keep doing what you're doing.
I posted that on Twitter, and somebody's like, "Dude, I have like 10 packs of that laying around my house. I'm gonna go open it right now."
Dude, it's funny when you posted up. I was like, I had that box in my hand the other day. I need to go rip that box.
Yeah,
So yes, it's the pinnacle one. That's the one that everyone wants, which is actually a super cool card to be completely.
If they
honest.
start going through, some of the iconic shots of the early '90s, there's so many of them. Like I'm surprised. Like I did a picture on Facebook about the Nolan Ryan throwing the football in '89 Upper Deck.
Mhm.
I'm surprised that had. I mean, that's such a cool picture.
It's
insane that it's $50 though. Realistically, I don't predict the future of cards. Nobody knows the future, but there's no way that sustains anywhere near that. It's just a bubble. Literally.
I think it is now. I think that's going to be the bottom line price for that card.
I agree with you 100%.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because I think what's happening is some of these cards are so iconic from our childhood growing up and stuff like the Nolan Ryan throwing the football, the bubblegum here, the Bo Jackson holding the shoulder pads and the bat. Those are just so nostalgic that they're going to keep their value. And not to mention when people grade those.
That was going to be my thing is like that. The pure like speculation of grading is going to keep the value of this card around $50.
Bro, did you see what the Bo Jackson right now is going for $500. The Bo Jackson PSA 10. Here, pull it up. I mean, I'm talking about like sold comps. There's tons of sold comps on that right now.
Wild world.
Yeah, dude. It's because it's such an iconic card.
Were these?
No,
was this the pinnacle set that you could get in like a can? Do you remember that? Or was that
I actually have some
96 or 97?
Those are later. Those are later on and stuff like that. But yeah, like here, I'll show you the Bo Jackson's going crazy right now, dude. Look at this. $692, 504, 449.
PSA 10s?
PSA 10s. And these are all recent sold in the last week. 500, 500.
Do you know what the formula is to find out what a gem rate is?
Yeah, so I just calculated myself when I went through this. So I actually it's funny.
We should. No Banger should do cards where we're all doing these iconic shots. I could see Tim with the medals. You could be breaking because you're roided out all the time, Rod. You could break the bat, do the bow breakers, and I don't know what I would be. It'd be something sexy though. I could do the bubblegum one maybe.
Which card is it where the guy is? Was it Gary Clark who has the card? No, it's not Gary Clark.
I could do the one where I'm getting hit in the nards with a ball. You ever seen that like minor league one?
Yeah, didn't me and you? We were. Let me tell you.
I'm just glad I got to say nards on a podcast.
Remember when me and you were trying to figure out if the fire extinguisher was a short print image?
Yeah, I'll recreate that one, but it's going to be.
You have that,
yeah.
Huh?
Dude, you know this is a $30 card?
I know. It's a valuable card.
Is that going out for grading?
And I think that's the Las Vegas Stars too.
Yeah, it's a minor league card from 1989. But yeah,
let us know in the comments what other photo should we recreate? Who would be best suited for what photo as well? I think that'd be an interesting conversation.
Someone did the Ken Griffey Jr. and they put in AI and they had the bubble pop.
Yeah.
And it was
and people thought it was an image variation.
Yeah.
Cary and I were looking up what we thought was a fire extinguisher variation on a card at a yard sale while Dave was walking up and grabbing Eminem's Eminem's houses.
Yeah, that same yard sale had that brick from Eminem's house that Dave sold for like $2,000 or something, or $1,500.
The whole time, me and Cary were just worried about if this
is this Dan Plesac a short print
with a fire extinguisher.
But I mean, dude, even like the Nolan Ryan, like the people always talk about the junk wax and stuff like that. Like, but that Nolan Ryan, even as just a base card, is going for like $3 to $5. Like,
did you see the Paul Skeens in Stadium Club where he's throwing the football, the base card?
Nice.
I just sold the Topps image variation of Nolan Ryan throwing the football for $15.
Was it 1989 PSA 10? $152 of that. Like,
he's probably got an arm too. I bet you could throw 50 yards. You probably could throw it over this.
This is another iconic card right here.
Yeah.
Which one's better? That one, Ricky Henderson or Deion Sanders?
Ooh. Ricky. Oh, dude, I got the Deion the other day where it was, he's football and baseball.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good ones.
King
Griffey Jr. has 92. I have that in my box. I think the 92 Upper Deck where he's moving.
Oh, yeah. See, these are what we're talking about here. This is what you would find at like a garage sale or like a flea
day.
market, antique store. Like, speaking of antique stores, man, I stopped at one in Georgia, and I posted my picture on Facebook. But they had a Pro Set Emmett Smith and the Gem Mint 10 case, which wasn't Gem Mint at all. They wanted $150 for his rookie card. The Pro Set went for like a $2 card.
Was it like a fake, like a low end grading company, or was it just
like it's called like Gem Mint grading or whatever? It's
Big Stan's grading company. It's got a Big Stan tin.
Yeah. So I ended up stopping by when I was driving through Gainesville. I stopped by Mealy Pop, and dude, their selection of wax is pretty impressive. There, they have
I've opened a few packs there. Like when I'm driving through, we're going cross country in like 3 weeks, so I'm going to stop at Mealy. I'm going to stop all over the nation. So give me ideas. I'll talk more about the exact route, but we're going from here to Utah to Vegas and back. So I'm going to be stopping all across the nation. Mealy Pops I've been to a few times though.
Yeah, I would say their dollar box was definitely picked over and stuff like that. But dude, I was so mad though when I was there because my first time there, I walked up to the case. I'm trying to find, because I was doing my Jordan challenge. I'm like, what can I find in here that would help, that I could potentially make some money on? And everything was priced around comp stuff. But they had the Jaden Maivia, I think they say his last name, the quarterback for USC. They had an autograph at a 99.
Maeva, I think.
Maeva. Yeah. But they had the autograph at a 99, which I've sold that card before for over 40 or $45. So I was like, oh, I'm going to grab that. And the guys were helping the other customers. So I decided to walk over and decided to sit down and just dig through a bargain box because there's like no one in the store. And then some guy literally walked up to the case and bought the card while I was there. So I was not happy. I mean, it is what it is. That's on me, you know. But
we have some breaking news. Okay, I forgot. Now I have to say, broken news. We have some broken
news. You guys all know this news, but it's new to us three. So get our live reactions. You guys are already over it.
You're filming this on Monday, so this gets dropped 2 days later. So.
Yeah, so the news has already been broke.
If you were here Monday at about 1 p.m. Eastern, you'd be going crazy right now, guys. Trust me.
Topps announces for the first time ever, Bowman basketball, Bowman U, will include officially licensed NCAA men's and women's basketball and NBA trading cards in the same packs.
Interesting.
So you're going to get Cooper Flag, like how you have like, you know, you have like Bowman baseball, you get like rookie cards.
Yeah, it's going to be like a classical Bowman set. I think that's a good idea. Rod? I mean, I don't know. I love that it's all like college and everything.
Cool. Yeah, you
maybe they're going to end up doing
Bowman rookies now.
Maybe they're moving towards like a baseball model where there's Bowman, but there's also Bowman draft. Like maybe Bowman draft will be all prospects, and then Bowman will be a mixture of both.
Yeah,
right.
So I think that's how they'll probably.
Well, I know we were all hoping there would be more Cooper Flag rookies and parallels. We need more of them. I want at least 600,000 separate Cooper Flag rookies to chase this year.
So as a singles buyer, and shout out to Gaby because I just saw him talking about this. He says, and I agree with him, he thinks that this is going to be great for prospectors buying singles. Because think about all the people who are going to buy that and rip it for Cooper Flag rookies and not care about, you know, how you say the guy's name from BYU?
Diabate? I just call him AJ.
AJ, yeah, Debontis. So like, you know, like they're going to be looking for Cooper Flag, and like they'll probably throw all the college.
It's going to be
guys.
hard. I think like Boozer is going to be a tough one to slide because Boozer, the name is like people know that name.
Yeah, so well, I mean, not necessarily like the big chases in like the college guys, but like in general. I think you'll see a lot of the college. Like,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you find like, what is it, Brandon or Braden Smith for Purdue or something. You find his auto in a bargain box.
Selling him right now for March Madness? You think?
I just sold like a sky blue for a couple bucks. It wasn't that good, but like I sold one yesterday. I've sold every. I think it's Brandon, right? Every Braden or Brandon Smith I've had, but I have not had any high end ones. They've all been low end.
So I'm thinking about doing. Well, not thinking. I am going to do the same exact thing I did with my football cards with my basketball cards.
Which is?
Purge. I'm going to purge them all and start fresh with new inventory.
Doing that for your baseball too?
No, basketball, just the basketball.
You never answered my question though. What were you gonna do? What are you doing differently?
I haven't. That's why I said when I started off is that like I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna do it. So like the only football cards I bought this weekend were bear cards for DZ money.
Okay.
Because he always buys bear cards from me. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, I found a sick Montez Sweat color match, and he's wearing an orange jersey, and it's an orange, like so sick, numbered to like 49 or something like that. But yeah, that's all I bought, and then I bought the Darius Taylor. I bought some Bowman U numbered stuff. I bought the Darius Taylor autograph, and that was it for football. Oh, and I bought a super sick die cut Bowman's best Randy Moss franchise favorites refractor, which I thought was super sick. So yeah, I'm still kind of deciding like how I'm gonna go about it. Like I've been kind
of low on football too. Like at the card show, I've been focusing on baseball, but
I see you, brother. I see you.
I love it, dude. Baseball is
happy.
like. I know, dude. You got me so still from last year. I'm so stoked about baseball because it just moves so much quicker. Like when I put it on collects, especially, I focus a lot on baseball because I feel like that's the number one thing over there. But I've also been doing a lot of basketball just because there's a lot around, and I feel like there's not as many people paying attention. I got a nice like Jalen Tyson auto the other day. I mean, it was
I saw that in that stack, and remember I told you like his stuff. I dropped his name, like, what was that? That must have been an episode like 3 months ago. Yeah. But like after he had that 40-point game, but his stuff does good. And you said, you're like, oh, it's unlicensed. But that I've sold a lot of his unlicensed stuff because his rookie cards are pretty much all unlicensed. He has some Prism Black rookies, but I don't know if he has any autos in Panini. So like his autos and unlicensed stuff. And the one you got was numbered to like what, 99?
75, I
75?
think. I got it right here.
So that was a good one. But I will tell you the one thing that I'm most impressed with.
Yeah,
with
15
Cary,
to 75. Sorry.
Yeah,
right there.
most impressed with Cary that I don't think I have touched in as deep as Cary has is Cary's college baseball. Not prospecting, but college baseball.
I love it.
It's such an interesting play, and I'm so happy when I see you talk about it because you found a couple of really nice ones lately.
Will Gasparino, look out for. I mean, if you don't know who I don't know how to say his name. Chalowski. Yeah, he's going to probably be the number one pick in the draft coming up. And there's so much of the Leaf stuff of those guys out.
Yeah,
and it's just sitting in boxes. And I look a lot of stuff up, like that guy Dexter McLean Jr. that I found this week. I didn't know who he was, but I look him up, and it was like in the 2 for $5 box, and he's apparently the number one baseball prospect in America, class of 2028. So what is he, 15? I don't even know, 16 years old, and that's like I think I've already gotten $12, $15 offers, but I think it's about a $20.
I got some more broken news for you guys.
Let's do it.
Alabama star Aiden Holloway has been arrested on a felony drug charge 4 days before his team is set to play in the NCAA tournament.
Dang.
The West Alabama Narcotics Task Force searched a residence near Alabama's campus and recovered more than a pound of marijuana paraphernalia and cash. Holloway has been charged with first-degree possession of marijuana and failure to affix a tax stamp, whatever the hell that means. So, yep. Can't mess around with marijuana down there in Alabama. It's Roll Tide, not Roll Blunts.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Nice,
dude.
nice.
If those aren't at the tournament or whatever, they're missing an opportunity.
So Cary, I want to ask you, because you do this, you travel across the country and you do card shops across America at one point in time.
Yeah, I'm doing it again here in a couple weeks, man.
I was searching for a card shop. Dude, I could not find any card shops. The only card shop I found in Georgia was called Middle Georgia Sports Cards and Collectibles, which was a super cool shop because you walked in and you get the 90s feel right away because there's like full bobbleheads and starting lineups over the walls, and they had some boxes there and some other stuff. And then the other side of the shop had, some value boxes and bargain boxes. But like, I'm assuming when you travel, you're on a limited amount of time at these shops because you are traveling across America.
A couple hours usually I could spend. And
let's just say if you only had an hour at a shop, like what is your target? Because like I was very limited on time. So when I went in there, I quick looked at the dollar boxes real fast, but I didn't really see much that I may want. So I focused on more like what was in the showcase or like that $5 to like $200 range to try to see if there's anything there. So is that what you normally do?
Question. I'm looking at bargain boxes because that's the
of course.
that's really the crux of my videos. But there's certain places like Grand Slam Collectibles in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which I'll be hitting up again. They have so much wax packs, so I'm thinking, okay, I've got to get a lot of packs to open for
You're gonna
content.
hit that up going to Vegas?
Oh yeah, no. Well, we're going to Utah and then going down to Vegas back. So we're doing the loop. So I'm going up through Nashville, up through. So I'll be hitting, like, I got shops that I go to all the time. Cap City, I think it is, in Lincoln, Nebraska. Probably hit up Art of Sports in Kansas City if I go through there. So I want to learn new places like in Denver area, Nebraska. If anybody knows, let me know. But as far as like Georgia, I don't know any shops other than Cards HQ. I need to actually do some more investigation in Georgia. Well, first time I went to Cards HQ, I did pretty well. Second time was not as great as far as like bargain boxing.
So I did find this. Anytime I find anything National Treasure or like Flawless and when it's inside like the value box, I pick it up. But like, is a Seth Rollins out of 25 for $5?
Yeah, I would pick that up probably. That's a pretty low numbered one.
And then I found a Charlotte Flair to like 99. That was $5 too. I got a Nolan Smith auto for $6. But
Nolan Smith is popular.
This is probably my best deal today. I found this Aaron Judge
25. Nice.
25. They had 125 on it, and the last sold comp is $199. So I picked that up. So
there you go.
I figured that was
that's like a world that me and Tim don't usually go in. The one, but I think you got yourself some good room in that one for sure.
But I'll tell you why though, because one is I've been watching the World Classic right now with baseball, and Aaron Judge is on there, and start of the baseball season. I feel like you can, and now Tim, I want to your opinion on this too, both you guys. I feel like you can take more risks at the beginning of a baseball season because the hype's there, the players starting out, and to actually go after like a bigger card where you have an opportunity. Because if he starts off hot, like
baseball cards are absolutely insane right now.
Yes, I know.
Look at Roman Anthony's cards, Gunnar Henderson's cards after last night.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? Junior Caminero too.
I'd have to say, because I love selling cards. I love cards. And my favorite time of year now is definitely like February, March for the hype for baseball. It's going to slow down immediately. But like there's going to be some guys that pick up. But the cool thing about baseball, I feel like, is it's not as crazy as football. Like if people aren't playing horribly, the prices will maybe not be as high as they are right now, but they're not gonna go as crazy. Where it feels like with football, there's so much hype with the young guys. You know, most of them don't perform, but even if they perform, it doesn't feel like the hobby's gonna choose a couple hot guys like Cam Scadaboo was scorching for a little bit this season.
That's
and Jackson Dark. And that was about it.
New York effect though, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the New York effect.
I think if Cam Scadaboo was, just barreling through people in Cleveland, it would have worked too.
Yeah. I would tell you though that
kind of a town,
the number one thing to do now is, and it's tough for me to do because I move cards so much.
Yeah.
Buying the top prospects cards at the end of the season when they're not playing anymore and everybody's focused on the people playing in the playoffs and the World Series, and there's no new rankings and they're at the lowest points that they're going to be at, buying those and just holding them until spring training. Because it just, I've been doing that beta testing with the Prospect website, which is just absolutely phenomenal, by the way. I don't know if either one of you actually signed up or not, but
I think I did. I haven't checked it though.
It is the numbers are staggering. Like the increase, like Connor Griffin cards. I mean, you could have made $1,000 on a base auto if you just would have bought one in like December, November, October, and just held it until right now.
So what type of inner conflict do you have though with this concept? Because are you just changing up your style, or the concept of all of us here is that we don't buy to invest.
Yeah,
we
don't hold anything.
So, but there is opportunity to hold. So are you going more like an 80-20 rule, 90-10 going forward?
Like a 95-5, like just.
So you're very picky with, because this is the slippery slope I see with people who invest in cards, is you'll get that sizzle reel of the guy that hit, right? But they're not showing you the box they have behind him that has all the guys that didn't hit who haven't hit yet. So you have to, like, if you only bought Connor Griffin and a couple other you could have killed, right? But anybody who's doing that, I feel like, also bought 7 other prospects and spent a lot of money,
Well, see,
right?
that's why I think that the difference here is if you like just maybe look at like the top 10 prospects, right?
Yeah.
And you buy those cards at its low point of off-season pricing because the off-season in baseball is so small because they have Arizona Fall League, and then pitchers and catchers start reporting in
You got the free agency,
February,
you got winter
right?
meetings or whatever.
Exactly. So all that sort of stuff. And then Dominican Winter League and stuff. But like if you focused on like that top like 5 to 10 prospects, there's nothing that can happen unless, anomalies, Wander Franco sort of situation, right? There's nothing that can happen where their cards are going to go down from that low point of off-season pricing till spring training.
See, it seems like the best time to sell a card, and this is just a thought, this is not law, this is just my opinion, is at the peak of the the fantasy part of the season, right? When anybody could hit 800 home runs, anybody can be rookie of the year, anybody can get called up and mash, right? Like right now, when all the stories haven't been told yet, good or bad, but you could just make them up in your head. This is the perfect time. And if you buy it, you're right, in that period, and you sell it before that fantasy period is over, it probably works a lot
because
if you're disciplined.
As much as I hate it, but obviously I love it at the same time because it's good for business.
It's got to be careful because it's tricky.
There's
Nobody
also-
knows.
It's also bad for business in a certain way, is that potential outsells established
100%.
in
Yes.
the hobby.
I think that's a good point to make.
Go get yourself a nice Eddie Murray rookie. He's got 3,000 hits, right? 500 home runs or something.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Maybe our dads care, or
I care.
our grandparents care. But that's the thing. It's all about prospects. I know, but like in 1998, who were the top selling baseball cards? Sure, there was Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, but it was also Ben Grieve and Pat Burrell, Scott Rowland. I mean, Rowland panned out, but nobody even cares about Rowland. He's a Hall of Famer, except for team collectors and super collectors, really, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it.
So, Tim, you make a good point because here, I'll give you an example. I sold a Connor Griffin. I'm looking back at my 2025 Bowman Chrome. It was an aqua. I think it was 125, and I sold that back in October for $30. And now
That's
I think
like a what, like a $125, $150 card now?
I think it's like 90.
Yeah, but just think of like
Some of
a
the
difference a year makes. Jacob Wilson got injured. He had an amazing season. I don't think anybody cares about Jacob Wilson right now.
I would buy all the Jacob Wilson I could. If you're smart, you'll buy in Jacob Wilson right now because he's going to come back and everybody's going to be like, oh, yeah, he was going to win Rookie of the Year if it wasn't for Nick Kurtz. The dude is
Well, I think
super
Jacob
talented.
couldn't win because he didn't play enough games,
Yeah,
or else
that's
there
what I'm
might have
saying.
been a debate.
No, he finished second in voting.
Oh, he did? Okay, he did
Yeah.
get enough.
Bro, they're stacked. They bring in Leo and like, dude, they're building up a system there, man.
Yeah, A's, dude.
they're
A's
just-
Nation. Go A's.
So,
Oakland Athletics and
Lifelong
Sacramento, Las
fan,
Vegas.
please give us like one season.
so that's going back to what Tim, you were saying that you're going to redo your tops, and redo your football, kind of how you're doing things. With baseball, you have a system in how you want to prospect a little bit and how you try to move guys right away. Perfect time to do that. With football, there isn't the hype behind that's not the word I'm looking for, hype. The football does have hype behind players, but because football is so physical and you don't have the contact that you do in basketball and baseball, these players can break out and get individual games and their market takes off. With football, you don't really have those opportunities as much as you would in the other sports. So
Way
going
smaller. Way
What's up?
smaller opportunities. Way smaller.
yeah, way smaller. Yeah. So with that being said, Topps is going to be getting the football license here coming up. We're 3 weeks away, 2 weeks away. What do you think your plan is going forward? Are you going to be doing more prospecting a little bit, because with NFL draft coming out, are you going to be focusing on just the hype and trying to move things before, camp? Like, where are you focusing just on quarterbacks? Are you going to focus?
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. Like right now, I'm just focusing on stuff I know that people are buy from me or want, right? But like, it's just tough, man. Like jersey number matches, color matches, like that sort of thing. Like I think I can move fast. But like it is. It's
Boy,
really weird. It's because think like this: for every Bryce, because of how we operate and function, like our goal is to always buy low and sell high, right? we're different than a lot of these people in the hobby who are buy high, sell a little higher, right?
Yeah.
So like that's completely different. So for Brock Purdy is a situational, like Cary always talked about with the backup quarterback box, right? Like that sort of stuff can come into play sometimes, but it's like for every Brock Purdy who his cards went crazy, but nobody was buying him in the beginning, right?
There's also an asterisk to him because he was a 7th round draft pick. He didn't have a lot of rookie cards in the first a lot of those releases either. So
but what I'm saying is that like for every Bryce Purdy, there's 100 100 of those in baseball cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to change his name too while we're at it.
Here's the thing. This is why I think vintage is so, popular and why people invest in it is like, and I've talked about this on my other channel a lot, like anything that's made to be collectible typically isn't collectible. And like with cards, it's tough because everything's made to be collectible. The reason why the Brock Purdy was so valuable at the time is there was not much made because he was Mr. Irrelevant. And, Mickey Mantle 1952s and high grade are worth a lot because, my dad put his in a bicycle spoke, right? People were buying cards as a way to they were buying gum and then cards just came with them and they were reading the stats and just playing with them. That's how it was. But okay. I do have a question I want to ask you.
Yeah.
So the Oscars were last night, right? And then Kevin O'Leary showed up, with his douche necklace. Did you see that?
Yes.
Where
this is the first time he's been wearing that.
No, I know.
Did you see the value? He said this time the value of it was? It went up again. He said between
there you go.
and 30,000.
People say this is good. I guess maybe I don't care. I don't think it's good for anything that we care about within the card industry, whatever. But my question is, what's the chain that we would wear? What card would we put in it? And what would the chain? Because I wouldn't have real diamonds or anything. It would be like a Mardi Gras bead chain, that quality. And then I'd probably put a Greg Ostertag auto in it, is what I would do, like a Skybox autographic. But
Cary, you muted yourself.
Cary muted himself. Is Cary here?
Well, it's funny Cary brought this up because when I was in high school and I used to attend raves and stuff, I would wear Mardi Gras beads with my own baby shoes that I wore as a kid tied around Mardi Gras beads, and I would go everywhere with them like a necklace. I still have it here somewhere in a box.
But that's funny. Cary's left. Cary left us. But dude, so I think this is a good thing. And the only reason I say this is because it brings
the commenters are going to come. They're going to be like, "Of course, Rod."
No, do I think he's a douche? Absolutely. Do I think this is obnoxious? Absolutely. But I think anything that brings attention to the card industry, to people that aren't card buyers that may be interested in those cards, is good for the hobby. That's how I'm going to say. Like anything that brings attention. I'm trying to take this from a positive.
I know.
Note.
I understand.
Yeah, you understand like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to address those comments a little bit later because I have a couple. I'm going to read some comments here, and but it's I don't know. I find it interesting, man. Do you not think that's good for the hobby?
Not particularly.
Look what Jake Paul, Logan Paul did for the Pokemon thing. Like he wore that to WrestleMania. Like he had put that on. That thing now was paid $5 for it.
I guess in the world of public relations,
yeah.
Any press is good press, bad press is good press or situation. Yes. So yeah, I mean, it gives people something to complain about because everybody wants to complain about how big of a douchebag.
I had to unplug my mic.
Yes. Speaking about douchebags, Cary, you're back, buddy.
No, it's just I need to get a new cord for my microphone, and I forgot, and I hit it, and it messed it up. So
yeah, you're good, man.
My audio's all weird. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're good, man. You're in 480p right now, but it's all good. So
no, you're okay. Just don't move.
Yeah.
Rod, believe it or not, Cary, I just want you to know this so that you can come, give Rod the appropriate level of backlash he deserves. He said that he thinks that Kevin O'Leary and what he's doing is a good thing for the hobby.
Of course, Rod thinks.
Hold on. Well, out of context, hold on. I said I think he's a douchebag, and I think that it's obnoxious. But I told him, and I said anything that
is it good for in the industry? I mean, who's it getting into the industry that makes any difference?
Brings eyes to it that nobody does have eyes on.
People that are going to start new companies that are going to fractionalize something? I mean, who's it bringing in? Are we going to
everybody, bro?
What are we going to get? Are we going to get somebody who starts making collectible numbered plushes of sports stars? I mean, like, who's it bringing in that matters? Allegedly.
Because there's a trickle down effect. Because if more people
I'm
come in the stream, whatever, that's fine. Where's the mute button? There we go. Now you're muted. All right, there we go. So he's gone. I'll just remove him for the show.
Just, dude. I mean, like, how could you do? Like, I don't know.
Listen. I try to be positive on here. I try to take a positive approach for me.
Oh, you're a happy positivity guy, are you?
No, I'm just saying. Look at Logan Paul. Like, yes, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Wait, he wore
there.
Yeah, I'm going to go there. He wore his Pokemon necklace to WrestleMania, brought a ton of attention to it. That card now sells for $10 million more than what he originally purchased. I would just say,
go look up the Pokemon card and watch the videos about that Pokemon card.
I watched everything on it.
Yeah, I mean,
I watched everything on it. But that card would not be worth what it is now if it wasn't for him, 100%. Would you agree on that?
Sure. Yeah, I would agree on that. I guess, I mean, that's what it's worth right now. What will it be worth? Maybe it will always be worth something. I don't know.
Now, with that being said.
I forgot. I have to give a shout out to Spotifyers. Shout out to the Spotifyers. If you're listening,
we got some questions for Spotifyers here.
Do we have some questions for Spotifyers? Yeah. I love answering questions.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that here in a second, though. But what was that? Before Cary got disconnected here, I was going to ask you something. Now I totally forgot what it was. What were you talking about? We were talking about football things. Yeah. Now I totally forgot. Cary's muted again. Did he mute himself? Or I was
trying to see if I could fix my mic, but I don't think I'm going to be able to.
No, your mic sounds fine. Don't mess with it. Don't push any buttons. Don't mess with your cord. Don't do anything. The people at home can hear you. Okay, and they hear you.
On the other podcast, people were upset with me because I was breathing too loud. So I'm a little bit on edge about my sound quality.
Bro,
right?
I am the worst mouth breather in the world.
I hear.
But I will tell you, Abuela said I look like I've lost some weight.
Podcast, but yeah.
Well, now that's going to change.
Who do you want to defend now? Who are we defending now? Go.
No, so that's going to change with your new
card
food
trimming. You're probably pro card trimming, correct?
No, I'm not card.
I'm just messing with you.
What's going on here?
With you, Rod. I'm teasing you.
But no, hey, fine. You want to go this route? Let's talk about someone who called me out last week. T. Giddy Farms Incorporated said,
was this on YouTube or Spotify?
This is on YouTube.
This is my favorite.
His name T. Giddy Farm Supply?
Yes, Farm Incorporated.
Farm Incorporated.
Yep.
Yes. What's he farming?
I don't know. Rod never has anything bad to say about tops or cards in general, and I wonder why. Of course, he loves the biggest money grab and pumping the 0.01% of Fanatics cash deals. Like, what are we doing here? All right, first and foremost, let me explain to you why I like the tops now. Because, and I'll give you an example. I'll show you this right here. And I think this is awesome because this will not impact anything without the tops now. Oh, I need to put up where's the photo at here?
I can't even read it. I have bad eyesight.
So what about this right here? This is awesome. All right. I don't care what you have to say.
Oh, whoa. Who sent you that and told you?
You sent me that, but I'm just saying is like this is part of the reason why I love Topps now so much.
Yes.
Because you have moments like this. This card, they only sold 4,400 of these cards, all right?
Did you buy some?
I did not. I missed it.
Bro, I literally sent you the message and told you to buy these.
Yeah, and I missed it. All right, I missed the window
because this was going to be a low amount of people were going to buy it.
I get
there's
it.
Going to be a huge demand for it.
Now, if you guys don't know, this guy's
an electrician. Really there's going to be a huge demand for this in 2 months when it arrives. I mean, seriously,
yes,
it's a cool story.
Cool story, but he's 5'6", 5'8", 160 pounds. Like pitch.
Did you see the picture of him and Ohtani next to each other, where Ohtani like gave him all the signed jersey and everything?
No. Was he massive over him?
Massive.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
So for those who don't know, this guy was an electrician who just full-time electrician can roll in and pitched 4.5 innings to him.
But he's a legend. He's a Czech baseball legend. Like he's played in every WBC. This is his last one that he's playing in. But all of the Czech players, there's like a bus driver, an electrician, a plumber, a teacher.
It's like 1950s NFL. It's like they're all like
100%.
Asian workers.
So
I mean, he struck out Shohei Ohtani, and he kept the ball, and they had them authenticated as the ball that he
That's
used to
awesome.
strike
But
out
allegedly,
Ohtani.
did Shohei have any money on that at bat? Allegedly, we don't know.
jeez.
Allegedly.
But this is the reason why I love Tops Now, because if we got this release 3 or 6 months later in an actual pack of cards, it wouldn't have the same impact as it does now, and to bring attention to the situation. So, like, would you agree with me on that? Or is
That
take
was
away
my
from it?
whole point. There's some stuff, yes, but
Yes.
it's being overdone.
I get that, but I'm just
This
saying.
is what Tops Now should be about.
Yes, I
this.
agree. I agree.
Not like a walk-off home run win for the Colorado Rockies on a Tuesday
don't
night
have-
game in the middle of, August.
You didn't get the Isaiah Mobley double he had the other night.
But I agree with you, Tim, on that. But like, this is what Tops Now is meant for, is moments like this. 100%. This is why I love Tops Now for that. And to go to the fact about why I was happy about the Fanatics Cash, because before that, if you bought anything from Tops, they would give you Tops like points, and you can only use those points for Tops Now only. Now in the Fanatics Cash, you can actually buy wax and buy other stuff with it.
The problem
So that's a huge win. Not to mention, Panini does jack for you. They don't give you anything when you buy stuff. So like that's the reason why
Panini doesn't exist anymore. Panini doesn't exist anymore.
they don't exist anymore. Do you? Why not? Because they lost all the licensing.
Yeah.
you're gonna get
can we talk about? Listen, all
where are
right.
you going to get a Prism Black Andre Rison gold vinyl if you don't believe they exist anymore? 'Cause they're
Listen to this. So Panini got the NWSL license and immediately destroyed women's soccer cards
How they
with their
destroy?
first release.
Oh,
Because they're releasing the first thing that they did with the NWSL license is release team sets for like $250.
oh, gotcha.
The women's soccer card community is livid. Because think about it, what was one of the best parts about Parkside, Cary? Affordability, right?
Yeah, it's super inexpensive.
They were super cheap.
$12 for a hanger or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
these are cheaper
now and then imagine getting the license, and the first thing you do to introduce yourself to that world of collectors is try to sell a $250 team set.
They should have went Donruss first out the gate, done affordable blasters, and that might have worked. But yeah,
So pretty disappointing news there on the women's soccer card front. Not happy about it, and I was pretty sad to see my girl Croy Bethune score on her birthday and her debut for her new team while not playing for DC United.
Where did she go?
DC Washington Spirit.
So
She got traded. For
P-Bird
$1 million.
says this was one of my favorite comments on there. So P-Bird ranked all three of us in different category rankings. The most relatable, because of love for cards and food, was Tim, Cary, than me. The most informative about bargain box in videos is Cary, Tim, than me. And then the greatest bangers hit ripping was Rod, Cary, Tim. So it's funny just how he kind of ranked us. I thought that was interesting. But Tim, this is the question for you. Pay
Is this
attention.
from Spotify or from
This is from
YouTube?
Spotify, and I need you to pay attention to this one, okay?
Is this like a 4-point? Is this like a Tim question that
This
Tim
is-
has to answer?
This is Tim and Tim only. Pay attention, though, because you need to focus on this one. If you were 5 inches deep into a dollar box, and that dollar box was 5 inches into you, which way are you moving? This has to relate to our conversation about the bargain
about
box.
etiquette.
Are we going left, right? We're all at there. So the question
So
is,
I'm 5 inches deep
in a
into
dollar
the
box,
bargain box.
and the bargain box is 5 inches into you. Which way are you moving?
Forward.
Okay, there we go. All right.
hey, one you're digging in the bargain box, the other one it's digging in you. You know,
Well,
you want to be.
listen,
in-
I don't make the questions.
Well, if I'm 5 inches in and it's 5 inches in me, then we're at 0.
Oh yeah, you're at a bargain box neutral.
That's why I
So
need you
you
to pay
don't lose.
attention to this one.
You're good.
There you
Don't
go.
forget, I was also a world-class scholar.
He has medals to show it, guys. Lots of them. He participated. All right. This is a good question. I think this is from YouTube. Cardboard Bambino. No, he actually sent me this on IG.
Oh, guys,
Baseball
based on Tim's hat, it is 3 p.m. right now.
yes. Baseball does multiple sets. Since Topps is getting the NFL licensing, what set would you guys really like to see, or maybe a certain level of cards Topps
Gold
do?
label. Topps Gold Label. Bring it back.
Football?
Topps, all of it, everywhere. Topps Gold Label, and then give Panini their license back. That's what I want Topps to do.
Okay.
Upper Deck make cards too. Press Pass. Where's that at? I want Press Pass back. Press Pass back.
Well, he's referring to Topps Specific, and he also mentioned about how Bowman had the 1955 had the inserts and stuff like that. Do you know? I would love to see Topps with football bring back the 1986 design. One of my favorite designs of all time, with the football field, the green and white around the border on there.
Be happy no matter what Topps.
Aren't they doing? Is that 86 or 91?
86 is the green border. With the looks like they're playing on a field.
For football, yeah, green border.
Football. Yeah, 86
would be cool.
69 would be cool because they did the it looks like they've been not photoshopped. It looks like they use Microsoft Paint to make the cards, where they have like a bright red background and then like put the guy right on top of there. Do you know what I'm talking about, Cary?
Yeah, I want Gold Label, dude. I know that's not probably one that people think about a lot. Gold Label would be nice. I think the most iconic 80s design would definitely be 86 though. You're right. 80 because of so many good rookies in that set too. You know, Steve Young, Jerry
Gold
Rice.
Label would be great. I mean, I'll
look great. I mean,
they look.
Here's the thing too. Can we talk about this? Tim left, but can we talk about how terrible Topps Finest looks in basketball? Topps Finest is so iconic, and like it's always to me. Topps Finest is like these nostalgia. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Bring that back. Amazing. Do the showcases, the passion, all the different inserts, and I forgot what they're all called. Do the class system. That would be fun. It's basically select for Topps. Hobby only. I don't know.
Cary, I'm actually surprised that you don't care for the basketball because I feel like they were trying to go for like a 90s vibe, with it, with like the colors and stuff like that. But
if I were doing Topps Finest, I would do a 90s vibe based on the Topps Finest sets. Like their first set, they should have been paying homage to, what is it, 94, 95 or 93, 94, or give me those classic. Like I would love a set where they're breaking through the metal like they are in the 96, 97 set. I know it's all nostalgic, but they're going for a nostalgic vibe with what they're doing. It's just, I don't know. It feels to me like a cheaply made Saved by the Bell ripoff. I don't know. I just don't like the vibe of it. I don't know I haven't heard very many people who like it. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I agree with you. I think the idea was there because I mean they do have like a Saved by the Bell look. You
have to remember that's how they did. That's the design for baseball this year. So they're mimicking the design for baseball.
That's true. They are making it based off the current designs, but my thing is,
I will tell you this: somebody tried to tell me that Topps Finest was comparable to Optic.
Nah, I mean, I feel like sets like that, like designs like that, it's hurting it. It feels unpremium to me if that's what they're going for.
Yeah, I don't know. What about you, Tim? You didn't answer. What set is there? Like a certain design or something that you would like Topps to do?
I just want
for
Topps High Tech back. That's all I want. I want Topps High Tech for every
When's the last time they did high tech? Because they did high tech for like Stranger Things and like Star Wars.
They did them as inserts in certain sets, but it's been a while since.
They should do phone cards again, and then like in one of the cards, you could at the National there'll be a phone booth, and if you put it in, I don't know.
Great. That's a good idea.
Get a Cooper flag telephone. I don't know what you'd get, but
I'd love it.
So I guess
they used to call the arena where the Wizards play the phone booth because it was the Verizon Center.
Oh, that's funny. This design, Tim, is that what you're referring to?
Yep.
That's the 2015 Topps High Tech.
Topps Fire would be nice.
And this is very similar. Yes, I love Topps Fire too.
This is
very similar though to what Cary was talking about because they have different patterns on the background.
Yeah.
It's like different levels, kind of like Select. So I think it will work as well with the new desire to have 50,000 parallels.
Okay, that's interesting there. And then
people want more parallels. You know, when I open up a box of football, if I'm not getting give me an old school guy, but not an old school guy I want. Give me like Musa Smith of the Ravens, like a fullback from 2003. Give me a number to 275, yellow sparkle foil. Oh my gosh. Take my money.
Yeah, I'll take a Bill Walsh sticky bubble gum to 50 for 500, please.
Give me a Bill Walsh neon clipboard parallel. Oh my god. Numbered to 47. I like the number 47 for some reason. Numbered to 47 for obvious reasons.
Have you ever seen the It's All About the Benjamins with Chris
not
Tucker and Ice Cube? And he sings a lot of numbers 45, 47. Boo 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 boo.
I don't remember, man. It's been a while.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
I'll never forget that.
All right,
I
so
we play pick 4 every once in a while, 45, 47.
That's funny. So right before we actually came on here, there's a major announcement in the card industry that might shake things up. That Whatnot had 15 lawsuits, I guess 15 arbitrations.
No, I don't think it's 15. I think it's 15 clients, 1 lawsuit.
Yeah, but then they have. I thought he said he had 15 more to.
Yeah, 15 more.
The file.
So basically a class action
Yeah.
arbitration lawsuit. So not criminal right now. It's all civil.
So the biggest takeaway is that they said that breakers were letting people know that where the hits were in repacks and stuff like that for their big clients, so that they can get their shield billing. What else was there? You like that?
You did there, Rob.
You like what I did there? Shield bidding. And then they also talked about like the wheel, and this one I found interesting, and because Whatnot has implemented the card games, or the carnival games in there. They're not going, like, for example, like they're not going after Backyard Breaks because Backyard Breaks was using a spinning wheel. They're going after Whatnot because Whatnot had it integrated into their actual system, which is interesting. And then the other one takeaway here is if you go gambling at a casino and stuff like that, they have, I don't know what the proper term for it is. They have like they have protections put in place to
Safeguards.
Safeguards. That's what I'm looking for. Safeguards where if you spend, if you gamble X amount of money, they stop you or they cut you off to make sure things are okay and touch base with you and stuff like that. Now they said that Whatnot never had any safeguards, but they actually implemented safeguards last year, at the end of last year, into the system. But you have, as a user, I can go in there and change my own safeguard. So that doesn't really work, in there. So this is very interesting because there's been rumor that they've been rushing to get all this stuff taken care of because sometime this year they're supposed to be going public and launching an IP, go public, and then that's where the founders could cash out if they want to, do whatever they want to. But I want to get your guys' take on this. Like,
so before I give you my take, I do want to read something that I read about it. So I believe you can read the entire complaint. It is 132 pages long. It alleges buyers have no way to verify odds of winning, card condition, repack contents, whether packs were tampered with. It claims a lack of breaker controls, including leaking high-value cards to preferred buyers. Interestingly, there's an addiction element to the filing that claims the platform lacks safeguards, such as spending limits or self-exclusion tools.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. This was one of my biggest complaints, and I've been saying this about Whatnot for a long time now.
And full disclosure here, guys, all three of us have sold on Whatnot and do sell on Whatnot, and we sell on Dibdit Cards as well, and eBay and other places. But
so for me, my biggest complaint was Whatnot opened the floodgates. They got way too big for themselves. And what happened is when they did that, once they turned that corner, it basically allowed what is it saying? The crazies are running the inmates are running the asylum.
The asylum, yeah.
Yes, that's basically what happened to Whatnot.
Too many Indians, not enough chiefs.
Like, yeah, so like, and they have no date, like, in the moment regulatory options. So like what they should have done is they should have put together a team of people that are constantly observing what's happening in real time on their platform to protect these sort of things from happening.
So it's funny you say that because when I first joined Whatnot, like 3 years ago, whatever, I had to, before I could even do a show and Whatnot, I had to sit there and I had to go through a 45-minute onboarding, and I had to, be on live on camera with a.
You don't have the onboarding anymore?
It's 15 minutes.
It's like 15 minutes now. You don't have to do it. It's like, that process has completely changed. And you had to get approved to be a breaker. You had to be approved to do all this stuff. And now they pretty much just opened the floodgates where they have no regulations. Like if you go to Fanatics website, like Fanat, and not to toot their horn or anything, but I mean, they have safeguards in place. They have shut your mouth. But I'm saying is like, you can't go on there and be a live seller without going through the approval process, and they will deny you for being a live seller on there. They would deny you for being
like a Michael Rubin poster to go up on that Blink wall. You and Michael just hanging out like you photoshopped yourself in.
Oh man, are you done?
You're at one of those parties, you know, that he throws.
I mean, listen, this is the thing. It's. I'm glad that it's, as much as I hate a lot of these breakers and a lot of these single sellers, because you guys know I hate that sort of frat boy vibe in everything in the world.
Your hat says differently, but okay.
You said what?
So your hat says differently, but all right.
Nah. I don't ever wear my hat like no frat boy. You know that. I wear my hat like a gangster. Don't get it.
Yeah, his hat's like
a gangster.
His hat's like he was like in a Limp Bizkit cover band as the DJ in the late 90s. That's what his hat's saying to me.
So yeah. I'm glad to see this is going against Whatnot, because they should be held accountable for what's going on there, because they allowed it and it's on their platform.
Seriously right now.
What's that?
What is that even? That's a new angle and forward.
That's Tim's thinking hat. He's thinking he's on tilt right now.
So yeah, there is a problem. There's a problem with repacks. There's a problem with scammers. There's so many problems. And also, I don't really know what this solves. Like, it doesn't really, because I assume that this is going to get settled, right? And that's going to be that. You know, a bunch of people, because I also would be curious to know who the complainers are, complaintees are, because like, is it just a bunch of people who lost a lot of money and are upset about it, and now they're trying to get their money back, sort of situation? So like, I don't think Paul Lesko would necessarily defend people like that, but I do think that
I would imagine he would find the best story, you know, like the stories that are easiest to litigate.
I think that's the big point that we have glazed over here, is like Paul Lesko. People don't know Paul Lesko. You can follow him on Twitter or Instagram. He is like the go-to lawyer in the card industry, where people covers like anything that has to do with like legalities or anything like that. He's the one that covers the content on it and stuff like that. But the fact that he's the one that filed the lawsuit, I think that's what brings it to my attention, that we need to put in like an asterisk so that, like, hey, like, this is serious. He's not going to be doing this. He's the one that's going to be the most suited out of all lawyers out there to do this, because he's so involved in the card industry, you know, more.
But people think this is going to like turn into some sort of RICO sort of situation where, you know, obviously I was just chatting with Junk Wax Queen on Twitter, and because I was under the impression that I didn't know that apparently there is such thing as a civil RICO case, not just criminal RICO cases, which I was unfamiliar with because I did not stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. But I think that what is the fallout of this? I don't know. I can't predict that. I mean, what would I like to see happen? I'd like to see Whatnot just eliminate 75% of the sellers in the sports card space and really kind of get back to its roots. I'd like to see repacks eliminated from Whatnot. I'd like to see spinning wheels get eliminated from Whatnot. I think that what has happened is Whatnot did not play by the rules of over the years, which is always
play by your rules,
my rules.
Okay.
Always prepare. You know, it's basically there's a law, Murphy's Law. What will go wrong can go wrong, or what can go wrong will go wrong. So basically, like, they did not think about all the things that could happen and did not prepare themselves properly for it. Because what happens, I saw a video clip the other day where a guy was doing random teams in a basketball break. Spurs and Mavs were the first two teams that went, and then they canceled the break.
But so he actually came on Boston Card Hunter actually yesterday or today, and actually talked about that. He said that the first team went to his mod, and then the second team, Spurs, went, and then no one else bid on it. He's like, I didn't want to have to go to my mod, and they're making the guy whole now. So they're reaching out to the guy and They're gonna the guy who had the Spurs.
That whole making the person whole thing, because I hear that a lot.
I get that
with breakers and people in the hobby who do dumb things, like the guy. What's the guy's name who was ripping up all the cards and like eating, like going like crashing out? Let's go, Jack.
He said it was for show, and then he made it right.
It wasn't for show. We all know. I get it. He's just. I mean, he also said he had a drug problem before. Like that whole thing is just. You're a douchebag. That's it. There's no other way around it, right? Like Debut Sports and OTAI and all these people who selling cards and screaming, and like all of them can go. They can all go. Right. But my thing is that like you can't. But how do you stop that from happening?
We may not like the screaming aspect of it. I don't think that's the problem. You know what I mean? I think that
it is a problem. It is a problem.
Why? Because you don't like it?
No, not because I don't like it. Because in the instance, in the context in which I'm describing it as, is these people are lying about values of cards.
Here's the thing. Yeah. There needs to be, and I don't know exactly how you deal with this, but that's why you probably need a group of people going on to these lives, especially the high profile lives, and watching them, because I mean, I don't like the style of yelling or whatever that some of these people do. That's fine. I'm not everybody. Some people do like it, but the second you're going in there and you're starting to say comps, right? And if they're wrong, that's an issue. Right. If they are wrong, consistent, I don't know how you would prove that it was like you were consistently doing it or whatever. I mean, that needs to be stopped. And I'm of the belief that like there should just be these guardrails put in, a team set up, and then maybe not with everybody, but with a lot of people, they're given a chance to do things this way as long as they haven't done anything too bad or bad. And then if they conform to that, awesome, stick around. But if they're not conforming to that, there just needs to be like some sort of law. It feels like eBay in the early days, the wild, wild west of eBay, which we all hear about selling on eBay for years. And then they got a lot of rules in place and it became a lot more. And it needs to be. I
started selling eBay in 99. Like it was wild. Like the whole reason why we get charged fees on shipping was because people would put a card up for $1 with $50 shipping. Because the card was a $50 card,
$49.99 shipping.
Yeah, and then we would get hit. That's why we get charged fees on shipping. But I think the thing is like there's a lot of good sellers and whatnot too. That's the problem, and there's a lot of good sellers. There's a lot of great sellers. I mean, all three of us sell on there and have sold on there for years, and we've all done well. But we all do.
There. Two more great sellers. There's two more.
Yeah, two more. Thank you.
The best thing that's going to happen from this is everybody leaves whatnot and comes to dibditcards.com. That's the best possible scenario here.
There is a trickle down effect, Tim. You said that you want repacks to go away. If repacks go away, that would really hurt the industry tremendously. I think the value of the cards.
Okay, if you want to sell repacks and sell them, that's fine. But repack breaks, like they try to regulate it, right? But what happens when like you tell somebody who works for you, they create an account, you tell them which team to bid on because that has the hit, then they rebid, they bid up and they win that. Either they win it or somebody else wins it, and then you get resell the card at a card show. Like the level of intricacy that goes into the scamming of these repack breaks is mind blowing.
So explain to me what your solution would be, because
it's easy. You cannot do repack breaks on whatnot.
You can do. There is a way to do repacks, I think, as a break. But
I'm just telling you. You asked me what the solution is. The solution is easy.
You didn't even let me finish the question.
Ban repack breaks on whatnot.
That doesn't. Were you going to tell everybody to go to Fanatics Live, Rod? Is that what you're going to say?
Dibditcards.com.
What I'm saying though is like if we ban repacks, there will be a trickle down effect, which will hurt. People go and buy from car dealers at shows, and then also it would hurt. Would it be a big portion? Repacks are a huge portion of why comps are so high right now.
Become the value that they were before, and like I think it becomes easier to deal in cards without like all.
But listen, you can sell repacks without doing repack breaks.
Okay, so would you still? Then you can still sell those and whatnot, but not do a break. How are you going to do that then?
What do you mean? You sell the repack. You sell the pack.
20 boxes. They're completely
random. What's the difference doing that on whatnot? If you just have a flat fee and you just sell it as a repack.
Yeah, but that's not a repack break.
How is it? You're opening up on camera in front of people.
Okay, Rod, are you? Please tell me you're not understanding this.
Bro.
Rod, a repack break is when you sell instead of breaking a sealed product from your boy Michael, right? You're breaking repacks that have been created by the company that's selling it, and you're selling team spots, and you're breaking repacks. Okay? You cannot do that. You have to ban repack breaks. If you want to sell a repack, buy it now, not knowing what's in it, what team.
What Tim's saying is like, if he breaks it down by team, you could just say, "Hey, buy the Bucks."
I never said break it down by team. Tim just assumed that.
I'm not saying that you said that. I'm telling you that you have to stop repack breaks.
Yes.
Okay, but so they have 100 repacks. Why can't they do a live show where they're just selling 100 spots and you get a spot? You're not buying the team, you're just buying the pack. And there's
it's not a team break.
I never said anything about team break, bro.
I am, Rod.
I get that, but that's not the question. I never once said to you was how do we ban team whatnot breaks, repack breaks? I never once said that.
I didn't say that you did, but you're asking me. I'm telling you that what needs to happen is banning repack breaks. Okay, then you said, well, if you get rid of repacks, and then it's going to have this trickle down effect, and everybody's going to be feel the effects of it. And I'm saying you don't have to stop selling repacks, but you cannot do repack breaks.
Okay, so there's multiple ways to do a break. You either buy a team or you buy a spot. What's the difference for me getting a box of cards that has 20 packs and you just you're buying one pack in the box? You're not buying a team. How's that any different than buying? If you have,
you don't know what's in the packs, dude. You didn't make the packs. You didn't make the packs.
I understand.
Repackers are making the packs.
Okay, let's say you send those packs off to a third party like PSA, and then they send it back to you. Then, okay, that's what Cards HQ did. And then you had 100 spots, and you're just buying the box on the spot.
That's not a break, though. You're selling the pack. You're selling the individual packs,
bro. You're buying. You have a run with a checklist. There are 100 spots in that checklist. You have a full checklist that tells you what's in there. You're breaking from that set of 100 things. That's a break.
Why don't we just do this, guys? Why don't we just show a card and frickin' sell it, and then they get the card they wanted, and there's no gambling involved at all?
That works too. That also.
And then nobody's unhappy because with break, I'm actually fine with breaks if they're done fine and they're regulated. But
yeah, I get it.
Like my point is, like, is it good business overall, long term, to have a good majority of your buyers unhappy because they didn't get a hit in a break? Like if you're buying singles, I mean, of course you could be in an auction, you can overpay for something, you can get overzealous and be unhappy with a purchase, but at least you're getting what you paid for, right? So, I mean, that's a tale as old as time. Once it becomes a gamble because you don't know what you're getting, it needs to be more tightly regulated. And I don't know how you do it exactly, but something needs to happen. I think we all agree on that.
And I agree with what both of you are saying to a point, okay? But what's the difference for me buying a box of cards from Topps and opening that box of cards and then being pissed off at getting hits from it, where I have all the options on there?
Because you're buying it from Topps and you're not buying it from three frat boys.
I'm not talking about, but I'm saying that if it's done properly and it's sent off to not like you said, yes, the regulations on whatnot are ridiculous. Where you can have I think all you need is like a hospital like cloth, like when you go to the hospital, they have those dividers, like pull the sheet across. Like that's the separation you need to do it. What I've been told, okay, that's what I've been told, that you can have separation or have someone in the next room. I agree with you on that. But I'm saying that if it's done right, if it's sent off to like a third party, they repackage it up and do that sent to you, that would be more regulated. We would have a lot less people doing it.
But they're supposedly supposed to be doing that, right?
I get that, but their regulations and how they go through the audit process is very lackadaisical, and there's been a lot of things that have come out where people are like, yeah, they approved us, but it was so done half-assed and everything else. And I agree with you. That part needs to be changed and stuff like that. I'm just saying is like the process of opening up a box of cards, open up and just selling per pack and doing that. There's a right way you can do it if it's done properly and it's regulated properly. But it's not regulated and whatnot. That's the problem. Even though
they just got to get rid of everybody. They just got to get rid of everybody. Start all over. Everybody is gone.
I mean,
reapply. You got to
reapply.
I mean, that would be
like you still have all your followers and everything.
I mean, they would have to re-educate. I mean, realistically, they can't just shut it down because they're making too much money, right? So
Well, I
what
mean,
what would
if they're gonna have to be forced to, then they have no choice.
but what I'm saying is like what realistic? What is a realistic solution? I mean, yes,
That's a realistic solution. I don't
No.
like.
not
Okay,
shutting it straight down. Like,
yeah.
would they?
Everybody
new
has to
policies.
reapply.
Dude, if you have a business that's doing literally billions of dollars a year, you're just not going to shut it down. Okay.
But
Just do what they
imagine
do on eBay.
what's going to happen though.
I get what you're saying with that. Yes, I understand what your point is. Like, if you don't shut it down, there's going to have all these repercussions. What I'm saying is, what other solution, though? That's my question. I'm asking you. What other solution could you possibly have? Do you send these people through a re-educational process? Like, what do you do?
No,
Like,
listen, Rod, we're not dealing with people who are making mistakes. We're dealing with people who are being deceiving, who are making money by deceiving the masses.
I'm not arguing that with you.
Okay, I understand that. But that's what I'm trying to tell you is that you're talking about re-education. There's no re-educating these people. This is what they do.
Okay, do you blame the breaker or do you blame the platform? That's the question.
I blame the platform for allowing
100%.
Opening the floodgates to let these sort of people in.
I agree with you on that. I blame the platform. Here's the thing: is you're gonna.
I blame the breakers for scamming people, but I blame Whatnot
get
for
that too.
allowing them to do it.
But yes, Whatnot put them in a position to just do whatever they want, like you said, like Cary says, the Wild West. So there's too much money out there, and there's a lot of companies out there that do breaker mom and pop and stuff like that. There's a lot of people that, yes, you may think some of these companies are scumbag companies, and the people on the top of it, I agree with them that. But a lot of these people may have 50 employees or 20 employees that are making a living and supporting their families through this. So like realistically, you can't shut them down.
What do you think? Let me ask you this, Rod.
Yeah.
Do you think the people cared about those people who worked at Enron who had nothing to do with scamming everybody?
Do I think they cared? What people we refer to?
Because you're talking about we have to worry about the people who are employed by these people.
The government came in and shut them down. The government's not coming to shut them down right now.
How do you know that?
Based on the information we have right now. I'm going by with the information we have right now. So you're talking after the fact about Enron. Okay, yes, I agree with you with that. Yes, they didn't care that because the damage has already been done. They had to come in and shut them down. But those people lost their houses. Those people were everything else. I agree with you. That's a horrible situation.
I mean, listen, I'm sorry, buddy. Like
I get that. I get that.
You should know who you're working for. You know what I'm saying? Before you decide to sign up to work with Backyard Breaks, you should know who you're working for.
But I mean, like, Cary, do you have anything to add to this conversation? Is there any solutions that you put out there?
The solution is to come in like eBay style. I don't know what the solution is, but one solution is come in eBay style, have specific rules that they immediately have to adhere to, have some sort of maybe detailed seller rating as far as like they used to do with eBay, so we could get and they're starting to do that more and more on Whatnot, where you're getting more of a breakdown. But I feel like there needs to be easier mechanisms for people to be reported, and actual like team following up on this stuff, which I don't know if they have or don't have, to be honest with you.
Don't. Oh,
ultimately, I'm okay with what Tim says. If they just said no more repacks, I would be total. Actually, that's probably the solution. Honestly, no more repacks, period. Nobody, and then maybe they could roll it back out in 6 months or a year.
I get that. Okay.
We can reapply that we're doing repacks, and there's going to be stringent rules. Maybe Whatnot. I don't know. That could be an issue too, but maybe Whatnot can you send them to Whatnot. They have a division that packs them for you, and they have the seal and the QR code or whatever. So there's stuff that can be done. But right now there's so much, and since there's so much money involved, I understand it's still wrong, but the unwillingness to want to address it if they're only concerned about money. And I'm not saying they're unwilling to address it. This is all alleged, guys. I don't know exactly if I flub on my words here, but something needs to be done. That's obvious.
To me, this is the thing. They've almost got allotted to, and none of this has anything to do with me. I could care less what happens, right? Because it doesn't affect me my day-to-day, my operations, right? But like, if I'm being honest, the problems that Whatnot has are so big and so bad, and they've ignored it for so long.
I agree
that we can't. we can't sit here and give you a reasonable solution, Rod, because there isn't.
It's like
That's
a health
a fair statement. I'll go with that. That's a fair statement. The
Rod,
damage
like
has been so.
issue. If you let it go too long, the only option might be like amputation.
I do like Cary's solution though. Like if Whatnot had their own department that handled repacks and you shipped all your cards to them, they package up and
because they're in bed with too many of the people that are having the problems with repacks.
Have a third party. I don't know exactly how you set that up. Third party. I don't know how that works. But
what about the breaks? What about the breaks then? What about the breaks? What about all the problems that they have with the breaks? People canceling breaks. People
it's just like
getting teams that have relationships.
If you cancel a break, that should be a massive ding on your account.
You should be gone. There's no dings. If you cancel a break, you're gone.
Well,
zero tolerance. What do they call it?
Fine. You can do 0 tolerance 2-3 times, whatever. Let's say 0 tolerance. I agree with you. Canceling a break once started with things sold. I mean, it's first off, like, who wants to run a business like that? I mean, if you are doing breaks, which have a gambly type element, right? Allegedly, and then you lose that end of the stick because your teams that you didn't want to sell right off get sold right away, then you just lost. I mean, the house always is right, but it loses sometimes. It takes some losses as well to keep people coming back.
What about the age limit? Isn't Whatnot supposed to have an age limit?
Yeah,
what's the age limit supposed to be?
18.
Yeah, that's got to change. 21, and you have to go through and you have to start Xing people out because there's kids out here running amok, scamming people.
I think the problem is
so bad.
Yeah.
It is so bad right now and Whatnot.
The kid aspect is I think they're signing. The problem is they'll have their parents have an account and then they use their parents' account.
You can have an account if you have parents' permission at a certain age. I believe.
Yeah, but that needs to be changed. So that has to be gone.
I would not know that either. I think you should be 18 or older at least.
You cannot run a break unless you're 21 years old.
Yeah, I think a break could make sense.
Yeah, break.
I don't know if they want to concede that point though, because 21 is kind of like a game. Yeah, I don't know if they'll want to concede that, but I think 21 or above. I agree with you.
I mean, that's what the casino is. 21
exactly,
or above, right?
We have to come to the realization
that
this is gambling.
If they agree to that, then it's kind of, you know what I mean? I don't know if they'd want to allegedly concede.
I understand that these are things that they may not want to do because they're making money on it, but the cat's out the bag. Okay, it ain't about what Whatnot wants to do anymore. It's about because what's gonna happen is this is gonna open the door for a criminal investigation. Because what happens is throughout this process, whatever becomes public, it can trigger an investigation, a criminal investigation. Once they trigger a criminal investigation and they put together a task force, the whole thing's coming down. The ship is sinking on Whatnot right now, and this is just the beginning of it. And it's Whatnot has nobody to blame but themselves. That's why it's like, I hate all these breakers, right? Because there are good breakers out there, and
100%.
but Whatnot puts all their advertising and marketing and finances behind all of these channels that are the worst channels on the app. So that's on Whatnot. So if Whatnot is upset that they're about ready to lose all this money, that you got to sleep in the bed that you made, right? And they made their bed because they went to sleep with a bunch of scam artists and people that are no business operating a business online in live shopping. Like, you have to remember, I have been on Whatnot before anybody else.
You were super early.
I was on there.
2021.
I mean, it's been 6 years now, I think. 6-7 years.
I started after you. I was early, and I was like late 21.
So like I've seen what happened, and I told people along the way, time and time again, like it's the only reason why I still sell in there is because I have customers that I have yet to convert to Dibdit Cards 100%, right? And so like, and I only sell singles, and I don't run single auctions at like, starting at $1, $2. Like, I have a certain method that I use, and I'm efficient, and I make a little bit of extra bucks, and I need that money. Like, that's just how it is, right? But I don't partake in anything else on there, right? Like, I don't buy from nobody else. I don't buy any breaks in there. I've never bought a repack in my entire life, right? Like, people think that this is the end all be all of the hobby, and the truth is like, bruh, the hobby will flourish and exist without Pac-Man breaks doing $30,000 spots, without Backyard breaks doing cases, without Filth Bomb on Fanatics
Theoretically,
doing
right?
case breaks,
If
without
break,
people running $30,000 singles and complaining about it because they're not getting a certain amount of money, without one touches. All of that existed fine, and the money was churning before. But now, like, people who think that that this society of the hobby and cards can't exist without these players and this play, they don't know what they're talking about.
I'm not saying it can't exist. I'm
I'm
just
not saying
that
that you're saying that.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about people in
I
general.
got you. I just think, and I will tell you this: I have full disclosure. I've had multiple sponsorships to whatnot through my channel. Okay, but
Me
every
too.
time, but the reason I'm bringing this up is I'm going to show you how ass backwards whatnot is. I've had one for they wanted me to do garage sale stuff, and so I had that assigned to deal with them. I didn't get any type of metrics from them. They just said, "Hey, we need you to bring people to a platform and stuff like this." And then when I asked if they're going to renew my contract, they said, "No, you didn't hit the metrics." I said, "Well, what you never even gave me metrics for us to even talk about, discuss." So I didn't even know what I was doing. Not to mention, I got recruited a second time to open up a slot card category on whatnot. And they didn't even know I was a whatnot seller at that point in time. All right. They literally went on eBay. They found, because I literally just went and bought a massive collection of slot cards. And I had a vintage collection on there. I was probably one of the biggest guys on there at the time, just because by dumb luck, I just came across a massive collection, a massive buyout. And I turned down their offer because I didn't want to be a slot car seller in there, because it was a one-off buy for me. The third time they reached out to me was for sports cards and stuff like this. Once again, they didn't know I was already a whatnot seller. You know what I mean? Like, they were recruiting me and stuff like that. And every time they recruit me, it's always someone that nothing, and I'm not saying anything about it. The people I worked with were great. Okay. But they're always like college students that were just like fresh out of college and, didn't have much knowledge with kind of, the stuff that was going on there. And it just always seemed like a crapshoot. Like the right side wasn't talking to the left side. They're very unorganized. And I'm Cary, you could probably relate to that too, probably from some of your dealings with them. But
I mean, I still like. I mean, I did a one of those short ads recently for them. I've worked with them off and on for years, but I was the third person, I think, to ever do a video game auction on whatnot. I'm not a video game seller, but I was a general reseller that had a following at that point, and so I mean, I've worked and done things, and there's a lot of things that whatnot. I mean, it's such a powerful site to be able to make money and change your life. It just, like anything, this is a time where, and I hope they will, like, just get things tightened up where it needs to be. Like, we need to have regulations on this Wild West stuff, the breaking, the repacks. There's obviously a space for repacks in this industry, whether we necessarily like them or not, but it just needs to be regulated.
I agree.
It just needs to be like, we need transparency. Like, here's the boxes. Here's what, here's the hit rate. Oh, and we need to know that they all get sold. We have to, I don't know how you stop them from creating other accounts and do it. I don't know. There's got to be stuff that people smarter than me can think of. But
I mean, we've had issues like this on eBay and other platforms over the years, which shield billing and bidding and all the other stuff, right? I did that. That was not on purpose that time. but and I talked about how Fanatics was doing it right when it came to their lives, how eBay's kind of doing it right. Like, I applied to be a live eBay seller, and they denied me on there. I've been on selling on eBay since 1999. I have, tens of thousands of sales and everything else on there, and they're getting certain people to come out and do stuff. So I think they are doing it right. But going forward, I mean, do you think this is going to be end of whatnot, or do you think you're going to see a market shift from, like, back to eBay now, back to Fanatics? Like, what is your guys' opinion on that over the Dibdit Cards? Like,
I think
what is the market shift going?
I think it's an opportunity for other competitors to really separate themselves as far as the values that they have and what they want to show. And I'm not saying that whatnot doesn't have those values. Things need to clean up, obviously. That's my opinion. But I think whatnot's probably going to be fine. I think they're going to be fine. And I think there's going to be a lot more rules coming forward. And that's what I would hope for. And I think that's ultimately what would be best for everybody who's selling and making a lot of money there. It's just rules in place so there's less of this stuff going on, so that the people who are doing great work on whatnot, people who are putting on great shows, honest shows, fair shows, can continue to grow, right?
I agree.
I will tell you this, that I lost my train of thought. That I think this is the beginning of the end. for Whatnot. They might be able to, revive itself after a major downfall here, but I think that there's going to be a major shakeup here. Also, there's no way they go public now. They can't go public now. That's fried, right?
I don't think so. I think they're still going to continue and move forward with that.
Maybe, but they're not going to be on the same schedule, right? You can't go public. They're in the middle of a civil suit this large, right?
You can. I think there's.
But why would you? That would absolutely
like in the grand
your
scheme
public
of things. How big of a because I don't know how other companies have gone through this. I mean, is this a large lawsuit in the grand scope of things compared to other businesses? Like I imagine big businesses have lawsuits going on all the
every
time.
week.
Yeah. So to answer Tim's question about the thing about this, I think card selling is their biggest category on Whatnot. But with that being said, there's other categories that were doing the carnival games and stuff like that. Like I sold in Disney pins there for a little bit. They were doing stuff, and other people were doing these different stuff. But it's not as wide and not as rampant as they're not doing repacks and other stuff. They were doing mystery boxes. That was another category.
Bags
mystery
and
bags,
books and stuff.
So I think that portion is going to change on there. So I do agree with you, but I just think at this point there's Whatnot has taken, and this really goes down to this falls more on eBay and all these other sites out there that really dropped the ball because eBay could have crushed Whatnot a long time ago. Because I said for many years, do you know how awesome it would be if I could literally take all my items in my eBay store, click one button, and go live and just sell the stuff in my eBay store already? It's already listed. Like it would have crushed Whatnot. Like they had an opportunity to do that, but they didn't have the infrastructure in place to do that. And maybe this is the reason why, because they didn't want to run into this shit show that we have right now with Whatnot. But I think that with Whatnot's all the other categories, Tim, I think that's the reason why they're.
Do you know what Whatnot says the percentage of people on their platform are breakers?
What percentage? 10%? 5%?
4%. Whatnot claims that only 4% of their total sellers on their platform are breakers.
I believe that.
Yeah,
to be honest with you,
too far fetched to me, honestly.
So the reason I say is
how many sellers do you think are on Whatnot?
Well, if you go click on the Whatnot
million, 10 million.
No, no. They only have 3 million. This is a lot smaller than what you think. 100%. I actually did research on it one day. I thought they only had like 3 million users or something like that. It was very small.
Or 1 million sellers would be my guess.
How many users?
What's 4% of a million, Cary?
4% of
how many users they currently
40,000, right?
Whatnot has 20 million new accounts created in 2025 alone.
Wow.
The platform so users spent 95 minutes on average on the app. Sellers generating $8 billion in live stream sales in 2025. So
it doesn't say how many sellers are on there.
They said they had 20 million plus new accounts created in 2025
but
alone.
It doesn't say if that's the user like buying accounts.
It doesn't say.
Yeah, because they don't want people to realize that there's just as they only want to promote the buyers' numbers. They don't want everybody in the public to know the seller numbers.
I think it's almost interchangeable now because when we talked about how
so
crappy.
let's just say for the sake of conversation, let's say 10 million sellers on Whatnot.
Okay.
What's 4% of 10 million?
400,000, right? Is that correct? No, that's wrong. Let me
Pull
see.
Up a calculator.
40,000.
4% of 10 million?
Yeah, 4% would be 40,000.
Really? I feel like that's low.
4% of a million, right? Because 40% would be 400,000. And 10% of that?
No. 40% would not be 400,000.
400,000. I was right, guys.
Yeah. So there's four. Let's just say if there's 10 million sellers and 4% of them are breakers, that means there are 400,000 people breaking.
Well, that's based on a number that we have no idea is correct, but yeah.
But I mean, so if it's 5 million, then it's 200,000.
Let me see if I can get a difference.
Yeah, give me a because that's a huge number of people breaking on Whatnot.
But here's the thing: is that could just be a one-off breaker. That could be.
But that's the number that Whatnot is saying in their official statement today.
Difference between
because 4% sounds like it's not that bad. There's not that many people breaking on the app, right? But and while Rod tries to find a number, because I guarantee you probably can't find a
I
number.
I don't think it's in the millions, to be honest. I mean, there's estimates, but who knows when those estimates were made.
So 4% of a million is 40,000.
Yeah, ChatGPT said likely, this is an estimate and alleged or whatever, likely 50 to 150,000 plus sellers globally.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I think it's a small percentage because you got to remember they have 8 million buyers in this year, but how many of those people went in once and never returned? I mean, that's got to be half of them.
I do want to read this because I think this is
so.
I don't want Rod to always feel like I'm just bashing him.
I don't feel that way.
No, I know, but like I'm combative with a lot of your ideologies when it comes to repacks, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's not that I totally disagree because I don't want it to make it sound like I think that the repack industry doesn't have a fluid, like an effect on a trickle down effect on the rest of the hobby. Cause I understand that concept, right?
To be completely honest, me and you have people listen to this podcast don't really fully understand that me and you have lined up eye to eye on a lot of the things that we just discussed, but we just have little nuances with it that, maybe.
So there is obviously a lot of chatter in the industry with this news going on. And Neo Cards and Comics, who's a pretty well-known content creator in the space, put out a video. Somebody commented on the video and said, "Here we go again. According to Neo, the hobby is completely supported by repackers, and if they didn't go table to table with their cringeworthy negotiations, the hobby would be in peril. Goodness gracious. Millions of dollars transact daily on eBay, millions on Fanatics, Golden, But according to the Black Case Warriors, repackers are vital to the hobby as well as an indicator of the strength, GTFOH." And Neo replies back and says, I think people really don't understand how much money repacks are injecting into shows. Leave the keyboard and go to the show, see what's going on. They are the ultimate liquidity engine. If it gets turned off, single prices and shows will see a major hit.
I agree with that 100%, and that was kind of what I was referring to.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to read it, because I understood that's what you're saying.
We are no bangers, and we don't play in that pool. I don't think there's any, like, this is what I love about low-end cards in general, or like, these cards in the, $2 to $100 range, is they're not affected by this kind of stuff. Like,
what do you think the ratio? What do you think the ratio is? I'm asking both of this really fast. What do you think the ratio is of people who attend a card show who are buying either for their own repacks or buying for other repackers? Because as I know, there's people who I met from Space Coast who literally get paid to buy product for repackers, right? So what do you think the ratio of attendees at a card show are of people buying for the purpose of repacks versus everybody else?
3 to 5% of the people, but they are buying so much cards is the thing. Like, I think it's a small percentage, but they're coming in, they have a table or whatever, and they are buying in massive quantities.
I agree with Cary. I think it's a 3 to 5%, but I think the number that you want to know is I think that they're maybe putting through 25 to 40% of that cash flow through that card show. I think that's where I would go with. And answer your question before, so let's just say Whatnot had 150,000 users, and at 4%, that would be 6,000 breakers on there, which sounds more realistic, I would say.
Yeah, a lot more realistic than 400,000 breakers.
So that just breaking down the numbers, but like, so I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. What was the question that you just said that right before that, though? Too, you asked us about the percentage of that. Oh, the answer to what Cary said, that you don't think that it impacts us. I think it does impact us indirectly. And the reason why I say this is dealers will come in, they'll buy a massive collection. They know right away that they can take those top cards and do it. So they're just throwing that crap in the bargain box. Do you think that they would have more focus on the bargain box if they didn't have repackers, or be a little bit tighter on their bargain box or other cards that they had to make money?
Possibly. I mean, here's the thing. I've resold cards, more aggressively in the last 5 years, but for 15 years since I've been a full-time reseller, right, since 2011. I liked it back in the day a little bit more. Like, I feel like cards were worth what I don't know, there was less of this control of certain parts of the market by these, repackers. Like, you definitely can't touch a downtown to flip. because they're all going in repacks. I don't know. It just seems really tricky, but that's why I like the low end. I feel like it's a lot less effective, but you're right. If that went away, maybe they would be more particular. Some people are still very particular about, they're comping everything in the bargain boxes, as you know. So
I get it.
I will tell you guys, I think we're going on 2 hours. So
yeah, I was just about to say that. I was like, we get so heated.
We could probably talk. We could probably talk for 4 hours.
Oh yeah, we do. Like, listen, like when we go travel to the card shows or we do stuff, like this is what we do. We sit around. We have heated debates sometimes. We agree. We disagree. We make up. We go to dinner. Go back, and then we argue some more.
Me and Tim are going through our bargain box finds. Rod is looking at his 1991 Toxic Avengers, wax box or whatever.
Rod's on the phone with Goldman and Sachs, wanting to telling them that, hey, I need you to fix my account for day 2. I need safeguard. Rod needs a safeguard. Whatnot.
That's what I love about Rod. Rod is 100%. Like, I feel like we all are to a certain extent. Like with what we buy and sell, there's so many different things in this niche to buy and sell, but we all focus on stuff we love, like personally too. That we can sell and make money on. And Rod is good at that. Like, he finds exactly what he's into, and he knows there's a market for it. Because
I want to be Rod when I grow up.
Yeah.
I want to have that bankroll.
Good luck, buddy.
All right, so a big shout out to our Buy a Case members. If you guys didn't know, and this is your first time watching No Banger Sports Card Podcast, and you lasted 1 hour and 55 minutes, we do offer a bit of a membership program here where we give you guys and gals certain benefits and perks that do not include repacks or break spots or anything like that.
Do like a higher level for repackers. Like
repack. So the Buy a Case members are Todd Cart, 1971, great year of Dom Perignon, which I'm sure people in Rod's group of financial expertise drink. ACW Cards, Flip 316 says, shout out to Flip 316. It is Stone Cold Steve Austin Day as we're recording this. Vintage Sport Flips without an S, our resident kangaroo doctor, Buster Chestnuts of Chestnut Bailey Digital Media Group, who run a live streaming comedic platform. Big shout out to
the advertisement here. All right, let's
Sports Card with Chef. He's in the kitchen whipping it up. Neon Penguin, the supplier of our No Bangers stickers, individual stickers. We're going to be working on some merchandise here soon, I promise you. Cardboard Bambino, thank you for your question. Where Yin's at? Shout out where Yin's at. He was live on Dibdit Cards the other day. I'd love to see that. Big Tom, our 4th member here on the No Banger Sports Card Podcast. DZ Money, that's my guy, Chicago guy, biggest Bear, Bull, Cubs fan you'll meet in the world. Porter and Son Trading Company, where you can buy sports cards, pocket knives, cast iron, and flannel shirts, all at the same place. Dusty Box Treasure, who has made his long-awaited return to the list that was accidentally deleted by Rod himself. It's Fezzy. Shout out to the Fez. Benji V89, Laxon in Philly, and D Number Chaser HTTR. And our sped up version value box, Lodi Sports Cards, Brown Jordan, Shaky 1994, Bigo, Chrono Rig, Diltrons, Yarbs, Yard, and everyone's favorite channel deleted. And the bargain box members are Derek Kramer for 1595, Austin Arndinger 2575, B Bird Sports Cards, Yam Starts, a Tank 211, Chubby Uncle Rico, and Dunbluck 2929. This has been sponsored by www.dibditcards.com, America's favorite place to buy and sell trading cards, allegedly, and is currently not facing RICO charges.
Allegedly.
I
mean, it's still time. So, with that being said, guys, let's wrap this thing up.
I made a bow tie out of this top loader because I have ADHD and I was fidgeting.
Those penny sleeves or top loader? You're very strong.
Tim is getting all anxiety from our conversation. He's just
I have really bad.
All right, guys, get it in here. Get it in.
No bangers on 3. 1, 2, 3.
No bangers.
You better have done it at home.